Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Kamesh, and in the previous video we had gone through we had taken a walkthrough for the problem that we need to solve around scraping seedinvest.com and getting all that data into a Excel spreadsheet. So we kind of looked at all the attributes, kind of where the attributes might be lying, and we can now start working on the problem. So first things, let's open a new cell over here, and let's for any scraping problem, there are two libraries that we in Python that we essentially mainly use, and the first one is requests, so we can import requests, and the second one is beautiful soup. So let's from bs4 import beautiful soup. All right, beautiful soup. Apart from these two libraries, I generally tend to import TQDM. TQDM is a nice, so whenever we use a for loop, if there's a lot of iterations that are going around, and if it is taking a whole lot of time, TQDM just provides us a nice visual bar of how the progress is going on. So it's a progress bar that we can put on a for loop, and it's pretty helpful so that we don't think, or at least we know how much time we need to wait. And apart from that, since we need to now push all of this data into Excel, let's also import pandas as PD. I think for now these are the four libraries that I'm going to import, and then in future if we do need any other libraries, then we can always get back to the cell and make an import. Alright, moving ahead. So we have a URL that we are going to be scraping. So let's get the URL and store that into a variable called URL. So this is the URL that we want, seedinvest.com/offerings. So let's go in there and paste this URL. And now let's get a response object. So response would be, so basically we will do request.get URL, and we'll store that into response. So when we print the response, and if we get the response status code, so we can say if response, just to make it a little more interesting, if the response.status code is equal to 200, then print success. We have a 200, else print response failed. We have a, and we can use a response dot status code, put an F up in the front. Also here we can, instead of writing 200 hard coding it, we can just say response dot status code. So let's say this, and let's see. Okay, so it says success, we have a 200. So great, we are getting a response from the website. Now the next step would be for us to get all the HTML elements in that on that website. So let's now use beautiful soup, and use this response object, response, and get the content from the object. So we'll do response.content, and then there are beautiful soup also takes another argument, so we can say features, and we can say HTML parser. So this may or may not be required. It's optional. It's an optional argument. Several times it might just work without this argument as well. Also, instead of content, several times you can also use response.text. So let's just take a look at what we get with this. Alright, so here you go. We get a huge HTML document, and I don't think it's a good idea to read this whole thing. So now let's store this whole HTML document into a soup object and create a variable called soup and then output the soup. Alright, so we have a soup now. Now we actually know that within the soup we have all those links to the website. So there's the page, there's the HTML that we have just pulled in. So we would have all these links in here. So let's just inspect one of them. And it says here that it's within an h5 header and an a tag, href a tag. So let's try to pull that out. Let's first of all output, let's use soup.findAll. So findAll is the function that we would use for finding all of the elements or tags that we are searching for. So in this case we are searching for the h5 tags. So let's see what we get. And as expected, we got all of the company names. Also we got the case studies along with the a tags. So we don't need that, and we also don't need these spans. So we just need the a tags, and we can exclude case studies from in there. So let's copy this piece. Okay. So to iterate over this list, we can say for headers, for header in this. So for each of these headers, now header is the soup that we have, so we can now find all within the header. So we're going to say for link in header.findAll, and then we'll get the a tags in here, and we can pass an argument saying href equals to true, and then since we wanted to exclude case studies, we can say if case studies, or we just copied that, right? So let's paste that. If case studies in not in link, and we have this. So when we say link.href, and let's first output what we get from link.href. So let's print this out. So you get so if you just print this out, we get all of the links that we need, right? And if we, instead of this, if we also print the link.text and then put a colon, print this, so now we are getting the name of the company and then the individual links. So we are now going to be able to extract two different things from this particular piece of code. So let's say companies is equal to, and let's create an empty list for that, and then web links is equal to, and create an empty list for that. So now we can we can say companies.append, and the link.text will go into companies, and for the web links dot append, it will be link.href. So we will have the link going into web links, and the companies going into company names going into companies. Now we wanted to exclude the case studies because we are still getting these case studies over here. So we can say if case studies not in link href. So what we're saying is, if this case studies is not in this href, then append the links. So we want to exclude the case studies in here. So we will, in that same case, we'll also exclude the names of the companies. So that's a good idea. So we are going to eliminate those, but at the same time, if you see this URL is not usable, if we just copy this and paste it somewhere, we're not going to get anything out of it. So instead, we need to now look at how do we get into that URL. So let's see. If you click on this, what you're getting is seedinvest.com/nowrx/series B. So we got this part. We just need to append it with this part, the first part. So let's copy this and go in here, and in the web links we can just say concatenate this with the with the link href. And let's now look at our output, and print. So we can say for company web link in zip, companies web links, print company and web link. Okay, great. So we got each company and the corresponding web link, and you see we don't. Okay, so we have 2 slashes over here which we don't need, so we can probably remove this slash, since I think in the link itself we are getting 1 slash in there. So let's remove that and recreate our lists, and now we have the correct URL. So we can while we keep this on, let's clear all the unnecessary variables that we have created on the way. So let's delete header, link, company, and web link. Let's do that. Header, link, company, and web link. So those always good practice to clear all your all the unused kind of variables, and it's also a good idea to give some comments. Clear unused variables, print the output. Okay, let's scrape the company name and web link for each of the companies or startups. So that was the first, and when we run that, we get everything is in place. So that was the first kind of taste of how we're going to move ahead with this whole project that I want to show you as a walkthrough. And I'll just take a break now, and in the next video we'll move ahead with looking at all of the attributes that that we are asked to scrape, and we will individually start picking out each of those attributes, and also probably create a function so that we can stop rewriting the same code. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments below, and please do subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.